What's up, everyone? It's Aladdin here with the Chase the Ace Sports Handicapping YouTube channel. Back again here with another video. Like I said, we're going to try to keep doing these for every card going forward. I know this is the last one of the year, so it's going to be a short break, but we'll definitely be back for that one in January with the Makhachev card. But jumping straight into it, I'm not going to cover every fight in this card. I only got notes for the Woodson fight and after, so just jumping straight into it. I think Woodson, he's a lot longer and quicker. But he is older by 5 years, and he also did nearly lose his last fight to Alex Caceres. It was pretty close. Some people thought he lost it. Padilla, he has pretty good power in his hands. I've noticed when I watched his film. Woodson, he's kind of hard to take down though. So I think the way if he's going to lose this fight is probably by getting clipped by Padilla. Woods, like I mentioned, he's super tall, really hard to take down these tall guys, almost like taking down like a table. I know it says 6'2", but he seems like a lot lengthier and taller in there. I'm going to go with like Woodson by decision. I think he should win this one. I'm not going to say he's like amazing at MMA, but I think he should be able to out-grapple and then just like keep at a distance and range with Padilla. Moving forward, not sure how this is on the prelim cards. Crazy fight. Maybe I'm just biased because Close is from Michigan. Super fun guy to watch. Same with Alvarez, too. One thing I have noted is Alvarez, I think he's a little quicker to the punch, and all of his wins are by finish. All 21 of those wins are by finish. I do think I really want to go with Close, but I feel like this is going to be Alvarez. In 15 minutes, I just don't see how he's not going to land a big punch and at least hurt Close. Close has been rocked a few times. I know he's got knocked out by Dariush. Also, Alvarez, he's a 7-inch reach advantage, so pretty massive. They do have him at almost a minus 500 favorite. I think that has jumped up a decent amount, so I kind of like the under 1.5 on this. I feel like it could end pretty easy. But I really want to pick Close, but I'm just going to go with Alvarez inside the distance. Moving on. Clown Show prelim, Johnson versus Aitar. What I have is Johnson is just like kind of one of those win a fight, lose a fight guys. You could see he's 23-19, probably one of the craziest MMA records you'll ever see. Aitar though, he hasn't fought in 2 years. Really weird layoff. This guy only fights like once a year, even less than that. And his last two, he was 13-0, but his last 2 losses have been by brutal knockout. Yes, brutal knockout, I say. One was to Matt Frivola, and it was like a UFC, like 290 or 285, like I said, 2 years ago. So I don't know where this guy is 2 years later. What's his motivation? Is he just here for money? I just think it's really hard to pick Johnson. And him seeing at minus 220 is like crazy to me. So I feel like I almost have to pick a Aitar, but I'll just be like kicking myself when Johnson like somehow wins like an easy decision or something like that. I'm going to go with a Aitar, but nothing big or crazy on that one. Moving on to the main card, moving pretty quick here. We have Navajo Sterling. This guy's pretty sick, actually. I'm not going to lie. He's undefeated. He trains with Izzo, Israel Adesanya. He's 7 years younger in this fight, 3-inch reach advantage. Really don't know where they got this Tuco guy from. Maybe they got him from Breaking Bad. I don't know. But I've never heard of this guy before. Seems like a layup fight, almost like a free knockout for Sterling. So I'm going to go with Sterling by knockout. They don't even have like an over-under here, but he's minus 750. So I got to imagine it's 1.5 or 1 round. He's going to easily win this round, like I said. Apparently, this guy's name is George on here, but it's Tuco on here. I don't know. Never heard of the guy. Seems like an NPC. He's going to get finished. Marcos on. Yanez, dude, this guy's pretty crispy. I can't lie. I don't know why they're kind of feeding him 2 dogs now, though. Like 16-0 Marcos. Seems kind of like an uphill battle. Yanez does have really crisp and fast boxing, though. Marcos, one thing I did notice about a lot of his wins, he's not like a crazy guy in one department like in striking or wrestling or grappling. Kind of a jack of all trades, and he does win a lot of his fights by decision. So I think if he does win, it will be by decision. But I think if Yanez needs to win this fight, he kind of needs to make it dirty. He might need to get hit to give a punch. And I think if he does win this fight, it will be by knockout. Most of his wins are by knockout. And they have him at plus 178. Not a bad bet. These spread bets are really suspect. Like, I think this wouldn't be a horrible bet, basically saying, like, him to lose 3-0 or win the fight or just not get 10-8'd one round. It's just like, there's just so many factors into that. I would just maybe just play his money line, to be honest. Moving on, you got Petrino versus Jacoby. Petrino, he's 9 years younger, got an inch and a half reach advantage. It's just weird. This guy was 11-0 and lost to Anthony Smith. Like, I mean, you just saw that guy retire last card, and that was like such a bad performance. Like, don't even know why that guy was in there against Reyes. But I feel like Petrino should win this fight just based off of him being younger. He's faster, has crazy power in his hands. A lot of his wins are by finish. And Jacoby, he's 19-9. Kind of been on a skid since that. He did get robbed by Khalil Roundtree. That was one of the worst robberies of that year, maybe since I've ever seen. And he's been, I don't know, maybe he took that loss hard. So I just feel like Petrino's going to win this one inside the distance. And Jacoby could be on an ultimate downturn here. Yeah, he's minus 350, so I would probably put him in your parlay, Petrino. Moving on, we got Manel Kape. I feel like this guy is like really one win away from almost getting a title shot. Like, he was pretty solid. He was booked against Nicolau. That fight got canceled. And then he fought Mokaev. Kind of got screwed in that fight. Like, Mokaev, like, he was like this, like, screwing with him. He like pulled his shorts down mid-fight, which was like, I've never seen anything like that. And then Mokaev, he got kicked out of the UFC. And then Kape, he's just kind of been like floating around. But I think if he wins this fight, and especially by like crazy knockout, he's probably going to call it like Asakura or like Royval, one of these guys in the flyweight division that are like always hanging around. Because like I said, if he wins like this fight and like one more, he really should get a title shot because Pantoja has kind of cleared out this division. You can see he's got a 3-inch reach advantage. He's 3 years younger. They have him at a minus 380 favorite. Maybe seems a little steep. But I do think he should win this fight. I also think the under is pretty solid. Under 2.5 at plus 150. Everyone says, like, oh, flyweight fights, they never finish. Man, I swear, a lot of these fights have kind of been finishing, man. These guys have quick, fast hands. Their chins aren't the best, I've noticed. So when they get hit with a big shot, they can definitely get damaged for sure. So I'm going to go with Kape probably by knockout, maybe first or second round. Silva, he's not horrible, I'll admit. He beat Cody Durden. That guy's not horrible. I just feel like Kape is just like, they feel like he's going to win this fight. And this, like I said, propel him hopefully to a title contender shot. Kind of weird they have Cub Swanson co-maining. This guy's 41, pretty old. Same with Billy Q, though. He's 36. So they get the same reach. Basically like the same, maybe not build, but just the same physical aspects, I guess you could say. Billy Q, he's good boxing, can get rocked though. That one, I forget who he got knocked out by, but that was a crazy knockout that he got slept by. I think that may have been his last fight. But Cub's still dangerous. He still has power in his hands. He did one of the also biggest robberies I've seen against Hakeem Dawodu. I believe that was his last fight. I really don't know how he won that fight. Got clinched and outstruck the entire fight. But I would just kind of stay away from this fight. I feel like Billy Q, he could win, but it's just like he's not amazing. Like, this guy is like, everyone's going to be like, oh, he's way younger. He's going to be like faster to the punch. And like, he's only minus 150. So like at the end of the day, it's like they're basically putting this fight at a pick'em. So I would maybe like go with like an over in this fight. I feel like both these guys can be durable. They're not going to throw like crazy amount of power, but at the same time they can. I would just stay away from this fight for the most part. Yeah, even the over-under is like not the best. So I'm going to move on from that fight, go to the main event. Moving on, I'm going to be biased here. I really like both these guys, but I like Colby better. I don't know, he's just one of these fighters that really got me into the UFC. He's not really respectful in any way, but his fights against Usman, when he finished Woodley, he's just had some great moments in the UFC. I just feel like in the last few years he's really killed his momentum by being inactive, and then also by if he won that fight against Leon, man, he would have been the man. But he looked so bad in that fight. That was one of the worst title performances I think I've ever seen. It was I don't even know what he was doing. He got taken down by Leon a few times. You could see here he's 6 years older. He's on 1 year layoff, 4-inch reach disadvantage. I feel like what he needs to do is like get back to his roots and mix in like the high pace wrestling, jab in your face. Like he'll hit you with like a 1-2, and then instantly go for a double leg. Or at least if he doesn't get the takedown, he'll hold you up against the cage. I feel like Buckley, great power. This guy is in a huge momentum swing right now. Has like everything behind him, I think. And I think if he wins this fight, he could definitely call out guys like Usman, or maybe like JDM, guys in the top 5 for sure. I just feel like looking at this price, they have Colby at plus 225. I feel like I gotta take that at that number. Like Joaquin Buckley at almost minus 300 seems crazy to me. Like almost against most people in this division. Like the guy is good, but I just feel like the only advantage he'll have in this fight is power. Like I feel like their speed is about the same. Colby's wrestling I feel like will definitely be better. Their grappling I feel like will be about the same. I don't know, man. I just feel like that number on Colby you almost have to take. I feel like it's almost a must-win fight for him too, because I think he's lost his last 2 fights in a row. He's taken like 1 year off in between each fight, so it's like I gotta imagine if he loses this fight, he's gonna be fighting basically nobodies or maybe even retire. So I'm gonna go with Colby money line. Colby by decision, small sprinkle too. Gotta imagine that's like plus 300. Really only wins by decision. But that'll basically be it for UFC this year. Really glad that I'm back, and glad that you guys are watching again. But thanks, and if you have any recommendations, just leave a comment. Thanks for all the likes and subscribers. Hope you have a great day.